Once upon a time, in a peaceful kingdom called Eloria, there lived a kind young girl named Amara. She was gentle, humble, and had a heart full of love. Everyone in the village admired her kindness, but her life was not easy. Amara lived with her stepmother, Lady Miriam, and her stepsister, Clara, who were both cruel and envious of her beauty. Lady Miriam treated Amara like a servant in her own father's house. She woke up early every morning to sweep, cook, fetch water, and wash the clothes of her stepfamily while they enjoyed the comfort of her father's wealth. One bright morning, news spread all over the kingdom that Prince Adrian, the only son of the king, would soon choose a wife. Every maiden in Eloria was invited to the royal palace to attend the grand selection ceremony. The young women of the village were overjoyed, for being chosen by the prince meant a life of honor and happiness. When Amara heard the news, she was filled with quiet excitement. Although she had nothing fancy to wear, she was content with the simple gown she had sewn with her own hands. Her stepmother and Clara, on the other hand, were thrilled for a different reason. Lady Miriam was determined to make her own daughter the prince's bride, by any means necessary. That evening, while Amara was cleaning the floor, she overheard her stepmother and Clara whispering, "Lady Miriam, this is Clara's chance to become queen, but we must make sure Amara doesn't show her face there. Her beauty will ruin everything, Clara. But what will we do?" Lady Miriam, smiling wickedly, "Leave that to me." The next morning, Amara woke up early and washed her only gown. She brushed her long black hair, hoping she could at least stand in the crowd to see the prince. Just as she finished preparing, Lady Miriam entered her room with a false smile. "Lady Miriam, Amara dear, I need a favor. Go to the river and fetch me some water. Clara and I will go ahead to the palace. Don't worry, we'll save you a seat." Amara worried, "But, Mother, the prince is choosing a wife today. Can't I go too?" Lady Miriam sharply, "Are you questioning me? Do as I say." With sadness in her eyes, Amara obeyed. She carried the heavy clay pot on her head and walked to the river. When she reached there, she filled the pot and hurried home. But by the time she arrived, the house was empty. Her stepmother and stepsister had already gone to the palace. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Amara whispered softly, "They left me behind. Maybe I was never meant to go." Just then, as the sun began to set, a strange old woman appeared beside her. She had kind eyes and a staff made of silver. "Old woman, my child, why are you crying?" "Amara, I was supposed to go to the palace, but my stepmother sent me away so her daughter could be chosen instead." Old woman, smiling, "Dry your tears, my dear. You have a pure heart, and tonight you shall be seen." With a wave of her hand, the old woman transformed Amara's simple gown into a glittering silver dress. Her feet were now covered in shining glass slippers, and beside her stood a beautiful white horse-drawn carriage. "Old woman, go now, my child. But remember, you must return home before midnight." Amara thanked the old woman and climbed into the carriage. Within moments, she arrived at the palace gates. Everyone turned their heads in awe as she stepped down gracefully. No one had ever seen such beauty before. Inside the palace, the prince was bored and unimpressed by the many ladies who tried to gain his attention. Then suddenly, silence fell as Amara entered the grand hall. Her presence lit up the entire room. The prince's eyes widened. It was as if he had seen an angel. He walked straight to her and bowed gently. "Prince Adrian, my lady, may I have this dance?" Amara, smiling shyly, "Yes, your highness." As they danced, everyone watched in amazement. Even Clara stood frozen, unable to believe what she saw. Lady Miriam nearly fainted when she recognized Amara beneath the silver gown. The prince was mesmerized not only by Amara's beauty but by her humility and kind heart. They talked, laughed, and shared stories as if they had known each other all their lives. But before the night could end, the palace clock struck midnight. Remembering the old woman's warning, Amara ran out in panic. The prince called after her, but she didn't stop. As she rushed down the palace steps, one of her glass slippers slipped off her foot, and she disappeared into the night. The next morning, the prince sent out a royal command. Find the maiden whose foot fits this slipper. She alone shall be my bride. The guards went from house to house across the kingdom. When they reached Lady Miriam's home, she quickly hid Amara in the kitchen and presented her daughter instead. Lady Miriam, this is my daughter, Clara. Surely she is the one you seek. But no matter how hard Clara tried, the slipper wouldn't fit. The guards were about to leave when one of them heard a soft noise from the back room. Guard, is there another maiden here? Lady Miriam, nervously, no, only a servant. Guard, then let the servant try too. Reluctantly, Amara was brought out, still dressed in her simple clothes. When she gently slipped her foot into the slipper, it fit perfectly. The prince, who had come with the guards that day, stood up in amazement. Prince Adrian, it's you! My heart knew I'd find you. Lady Miriam and Clara were speechless, trembling in shame. Prince Adrian, to Lady Miriam, you hid her from me, but fate revealed her. Kindness cannot be buried. Amara forgave her stepmother and stepsister, though they could not lift their heads in her presence. The prince took Amara's hand and led her to the palace. A grand wedding was held, and people came from every corner of the kingdom to celebrate the union of Prince Adrian and Queen Amara. From that day, Amara ruled with grace, compassion, and love. The very qualities that had once made her a servant now made her the most beloved queen in all of Eloria. As for Lady Miriam and Clara, they lived with the heavy regret of their wickedness, realizing too late that no one can destroy the destiny of a good heart.